So it's 31 and 31 day 7. Today I watched Butterfly Kisses. Um, it's a film that's presented as not a found footage, but the person who found that found footage, right? Finds it and he gets obsessed with the myth of the Peeping Tom or Mr. Blink from this footage he found of these two college students. Came out in 2018, directed by Eric Christopher Myers. I never heard of him before this. I don't know anything else he did, but I watched this and I was honestly impressed. I'd like to see him do some more films, but it's presented as two ways. One side is the man from 2014 or 2015, which is when it takes place, and him finding this box in his um in his basement, and these tapes contain, which is where the found footage comes in. Is the tape is where these tapes are contained in this box. That's the found footage. And the documentary is this other guy. Um, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really, honestly enjoyed that film quite a bit. Um, it's a really good mix of modern footage and technically modern footage from 2015 and 2004. But the 2004 stuff is it's the same stuff from the 2008 15 stuff, but it's edited and it's put through filters and made grainy and turned black and white to give it to that 2004 look from around the time of Blair Witch style. But it's really good. Um, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm just kind of at a loss for words because it's a different type of movie, different than what I'm used to when it comes to found footage. The whole movie is a setup for the last half hour. It's not bad that it's a setup for the last half hour. That last half hour has a hell of a payoff. It was good. Um, it was. I mean, I loved it. There's. It's a really nice mixture of. It's really nice mixture of what looks really old school and what looks really new school, and they juxtapose really well. Um, they set up Peeping Tom with locals and experts, and it's done very well. I liked how that was done. Um, one downfall is uh, one downfall is it's set up from it's set up like every other normal urban legend. A friend of a friend, my uncle, my distant uncle, my uncle's friend. That works sometimes, but I don't. It works because it's an urban legend cliche. I liked it. I didn't mind it, but I thought that it could have gone without that. The whole friend of a friend or my weird distant uncle or a brother's friend who knew someone. But I didn't hate it. It fit with the lore of the film, which they set up very well. What was interesting is that it's a very simple way to conjure him. Stare down a tunnel for an hour, he will appear. He is the thing you see out of the corner of your eye that you don't want to look at. That's all Mr. Blink is. They call him Mr. Blink more than they call him Peeping Tom. That's what Mr. Blink is. And what's cool is that they set it up that the camera is the eye, and the camera sees Mr. Blink. All right. There's really it has the effects are pretty good. They're not amazing. They're pretty good. Mostly it's just a man in a costume, which works perfectly fine. Practical effects are the way to go. The way he appears after the hour of footage, allegedly. Oh. Um, the effect is he comes up from the ground and it looks really nice because he's not there, and then you see this black thing come from the ground, and then he's there. It works really well. It's also nice that he has a flickering effect every time you see him, and it's solid. Outside of one scene, he's always got this flickering effect. If it's in a reflection, he flickers. At the end of the tunnel, he flickers. It's really cool. I like that. The director isn't a major character. He is the documentarian who's documenting this and making decisions based on that, on whether he wants to continue to show off stuff or it's nice. The character is Gavin. He's the guy who finds it, and he finds his box. And the whole story is of the overall or overarching documentary about this found footage is whether or not there's he wants people to believe it or not believe it and make a decision. Okay? They do a really nice job of setting that up, and ultimately him wanting to prove it by doing it himself. Um, there's a couple cameos. The guy that directed Blair Witch, and the writer of the Weird books, Weird Indiana, Weird Missouri, Weird Maryland, whatever, the Weird U.S. books. Um, he appears, and that's really cool. Those cameos were cool. I liked seeing them. They were nice. As a fan of the macabre, I'm not big on. I'll be honest, I hate Blair Witch, but it was so nice to have a cameo from him. One thing that's nice is like the whole thing is if you blink, he moves a step closer until you can't blink anymore, and then he up here, and then he gets close to you, rubs his eyelashes against yours, aka butterfly kisses, and then he kills you. That's the whole idea, and they do that to an effect, except that you don't know that it's happening until you see it, and then me being the dumbass I am, I went there and I sat there and I watched through the parts, and he's there in those earlier shots they show later in the movie. He's there. It really is happening. How they say it's nice. Um, the film talks about sound, which is amazing because the sound use of sound in a horror film is important. You hear Jason's theme, you know right away that's Jason's theme. He's coming to fucking kill some teenagers. You know the do 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 of Halloween. You hear that theme, you know Michael Myers is coming at you. But people don't think about that. The sound of Freddy's claws scraping the wall or a pipe. They're all sounds that you know, but you don't think about. And it works well that they talk about it. Um, there's this one scene where the cameraman of the 2004 part is in front of the camera, and he has something like 30 takes of this camera, and every take, Mr. Blink is getting closer, and it's really nice. Like you see him, and then he steps off camera. He goes stage. He goes stage left, and then pop, he's closer. It's a really nice touch. The Ghost Hunters. There's a scene. Gavin's trying to work with people to get this footage out there. Um. Okay, so there, he's talking to different groups, and he ultimately ends up being stuck with just Ghost Hunters. I don't know why I'm yawning. I literally didn't say a word for it. Well, that's why I didn't say a word for an hour and a half, and now I'm yawning. Mm. And he's talking to these Ghost Hunters, and they start fucking with him. That was really cool. So at the end of the film, there's no definitive answer on whether or not Mr. Blink is real. At least I don't think there is. I think that, I can give you my opinion. But I'm not going to. There's three options. One, they both faked it. One, it's all real. Two, they both faked it. Or three, one of them faked it on the other. And it gives you all three of these ideas. And I'm not going to tell you what to think because it's your choice. Watch the movie, find out. I don't want to give. This is one time I'm not going to give anything away. So I mean, it's interesting. One thing I appreciate about the film. One thing most people don't know is that documentaries manipulate you. They use things like leitmotifs and stuff from music to make you prove or make you trust or distrust certain people, and they do a good job with that. They do that with a lot of documentaries. This one, it doesn't give you that. It doesn't have those musical undertones you're not going to notice. Because there are certain musical undertones throughout our history in film and in theater where they will use certain music and certain things throughout that music to give you an idea of who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Avengers, prime example. The Avengers have a set theme throughout the movies. Okay, seeing as it's Lego Avengers, why not? And the villains have their own theme throughout the series, and it's up to you to notice. And you don't notice it because they're so ingrained that you hear this leitmotif, and you're like, yep, that's a villain, that's a good guy. It's nice. That they talk about that, about how documentaries are used to manipulate people. Tiger King is a prime example. I mean, they make Joe Exotic look like a good guy, but they don't ever talk about how bad of a person he was, all this other shit, So it's nice to talk about how they manipulate you. There's a scene in the radio call in which people are calling Gavin out for possibly faking it. And you see him getting more and more despondent throughout these calls. It's a very nice touch. I really like that a lot. See, I don't want to. Okay. I don't want to read too much of my notes because my notes have a lot of notes on the movie, and I want to leave a lot of it to you to discover. My beautiful woman, she selected everything so far. I gave her a list of 4 movies. I said pick one or number them, what the fuck ever. I don't care. Pick one, I'll watch it. She picked this one. I'm happy she did. It was an excellent movie. Probably one of my favorite ones throughout the month so far. But I still got 24 more days of this shit. Not that I might got 24 more days of this shit. 24 more movies to watch. But this was a good one for her to choose. I don't want to ruin too much of it. Um, but Gavin, either these characters are having mental breakdowns, or it's real, or it's fake, and they're faking mental breakdowns. Okay, I'm not gonna say which one it is because it's up to you to decide. Honestly, the movie gives it to you like that. It's your choice to decide whether this is real or whether they're going crazy. They don't give you a definitive answer, which is what I want from a movie like this. But ultimately, Gavin goes to the tunnel to prove whether or not Mr. Blink is real, and then he randomly disappears. And then the last 20 minutes of the movie happens. It's really nice. Um, and in this, you see the female character from the 2004 bit slowly breaking down mentally, and it's really a cool way to show it because she's not just going crazy from crazy sake. She's going crazy because of the fact that she either is seeing him or she's not, and is some sort of belated schizophrenia. Might be, might not be. I don't have an answer. I know my choice, but I'm gonna let you watch and decide. The death, there is a character that dies. I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say how. But there's a jump scare involved, and it works so well because it's the only jump scare in the entire movie, and it works so well. I loved it. They had the experts come in. It was the expert, one of the experts from earlier in the film comes back in. Some stuff happens. It was nice to have that callback, and the ending was left ambiguous with no real answer, but it worked well. I liked that there was no answer. Sometimes you don't need an answer for a film. Sometimes the film works well for what it is. This one's hard to score because it's played off like it's real, which is good because that makes you buy into the world, buy into the rules. The rules are simple: don't blink, or don't sit around this fucking thing for an hour. Rules are simple. It's nice. It's a nice set of rules. Um, so the rules and everything are set up very quickly in the film, and then it goes from there, and they do a good job with that. The acting is all good, even from the director himself, who appears as himself in this film. Um, Playing it off like it takes place in the real world is a really clever move, really smart move, really nice move. I wish more people would follow. Um, this one's hard to score because it's all based on your love of documentaries, which I love a good documentary. But this is a mockumentary because it's not real. It's played off like it's real, but it's not. And it's nice. I loved it. I actually liked that it was a mockumentary rather than a straight, hey, this is real, like Blair Witch. I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10. I really liked it. It was a different take. Um, the positives are it's a good story. It's well paced. It does not seem like an hour and a half. Um, the cameos are nice, but I didn't know they were even in there until I watched the movie because I didn't look at the IMDb. I look at nothing before I watch a movie. Okay. I show my beautiful woman pictures. I read her titles, or I take pictures of what these films are, screenshots, and I let her pick one. That gives me a chance to watch something new, and it gives me a chance to not sit there and base on my preconceived notions. It lets her choose. So I'm gonna do that. I'm probably gonna do that again for the rest of the week. Next week, I'm still not sure what I'm doing for a theme. I'll figure it out next week. But yeah, I would recommend it. Solid 9 out of 10. Check it out if you have a chance. It's free on Amazon Prime. I don't know about Hulu. I don't know about Netflix because I'm not gonna look on my Hulu, and I don't have Netflix. So if it is on those, check it out. If not, it is on Prime, and Prime is cheap for a month. You know, I mean, I would recommend it. It's all 9 out of 10. Go check, please check it out. Even if you're not a horror fan, I think you'll appreciate this movie because it doesn't. It's a horror movie, but not a horror movie at the same time. Just trust me. Take time out, check it out, watch it. Even if you're not a horror fan, I recommend this movie. So that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another one. She will probably pick out. I hope it's going to be good. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe down below. Hit that bell icon for notifications. And leave a comment down below on whether you watch a movie or not. Other found footage movies you love. Anything in general. Okay? Because I love hearing from you. Enjoy your month. Happy Halloween. Be safe. Be good to each other. Don't be a dick. All right. I have a person I work with. He treated me very poorly for a while. We aren't the most fond of each other. We don't know each other very well. Other than video game, we both love video games. We both have our video games we love. It's one thing we have in common, and we talk every so often. A guy who treated me like shit to a guy who treats me with respect, at least at work. And I treat him with respect, at least at work. I don't talk about him at all behind his back because I don't have a problem with him. But, my simple kindness to him, led to him being kind back because I chose not to be a dick. So be good to each other. Please. Life is short. Shit's happening right now that's not good. Be kind to each other. Show each other love. Show each other that kindness. We all need that kindness and that love. We all fucking need it, man. I know I need that kindness and love from other people. You know, I mean, I'm kind to people. You know, I have a couple friends at work going through some shit. And, you know, I mean, I make sure they know I care for them. Because I'm the person on my side, other than one other person that's been there the longest. Other than the people that are the long timers. And I consider them all my people, so I'm kind to them. I care for them. I care about them. One of my friends had a funeral yesterday, and some stuff happened with one of her relatives, and she didn't want someone to talk her through it. She didn't want someone to yell, to do anything. She just needed a simple hug, and simply someone to say, "Hey, I care for you, man. I'm here for you if you need me." And that's what I did. You know, I'm not the boss, but I consider them my people. You know. And that simple act of kindness could be what it takes for one person to make it through the day. That one simple act of kindness. Please. Please love each other. Be kind to each other. Be good to each other. I tell everybody this. Life is shit as it is. Sometimes you get lucky and you find a good friend. Or a beautiful woman with 2 great kids. That you grow to love as your own. And it works. And that's your slice of happiness. If not, sometimes you need that hug, that bit of affection and love. Just simple rub on the shoulder. Another friend of mine, next week, it is a year since her boyfriend died. And she was crying, and I consider her a friend. I consider her a friend. And she was crying, and I didn't realize, oh, it's almost a year since he died, and he was a friend of mine. I went to school with this kid. He was a friend of mine. Older than me, mind you, but he was still someone I knew, someone that was I would have considered a friend. Someone who I talked to, even if it was just, hey man, how you doing? When he was talking about his pool, I would talk to him. And I saw how much it was destroying her. It being close. And her just crying and breaking down. I knew she needed a simple hug. Just a simple hug for a few seconds, and it made her feel a lot better. So please, love one another. Be kind. This isn't me bullshitting. I'm not like other people say. Love one another. Be kind. Be there for each other because we all need it. Yeah, that's honestly the best I can say. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry about the 10-minute diatribe about loving one another and being kind. Sometimes you just gotta say it, man. If you like what you heard, you know what? Not if you like what you heard. You know what? I like talking to you. You liked hearing me talk. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell. Leave a thumbs up. And leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of the review. Tell me what you thought of everything. And, enjoy your day. I will catch you all tomorrow when I watch another movie that my beautiful Abby will pick out. Thank you. Good night, everybody.